YouTube, it's your boy 41 Pop back with another video. We got a good segment today. Dragon Ball Spark Zero is causing a lot of controversy in the gaming world. I love Dragon Ball. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I watched all of it. I watched all of Super. I'm a Dragon Ball Z fiend, but the games have never been hitting for me like that, so I never really went through the games. And honestly, I done watched the story of Goku going to planet fucking Frieza and fights and Cell fight. I watched that a million times growing up. Like, I don't want to replay the game again. I've done played the game story a million times, realistically. I enjoy that they bringing on new people to the game, so I'm here for it. I love the series. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Grab your popcorn. It's a long segment. Let's get into it.
Gamers are furious. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Vegeta fight is destroying gamers.
What's that?
Uh-oh.
How's it going, everyone? So we gotta talk a little Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Uh-oh.
I think when everybody got the game, I shouldn't say everybody, I think there are some people that jumped into just playing battles with their friends, but I think a lot of people jumped into Sparking Zero right off the top. You gotta hit that single player mode, do a couple battles.
I think that a lot of people did that, and they probably did exactly what I did, is they probably played all the way through where they followed the anime. That's what I did. Like, because yesterday, I played all the way through to the Majin Buu arc, and that's where I stopped.
In there, go through Goku's campaign, and
So, like,
honestly
today is going to be all
speaking,
new
you guys, I will be real, going into this game, I had expected, okay, like, great, we got a single player component, we're just finna dust this thing in 5 seconds and then move on. Not to say that's a bad thing, like, this game's longevity is obviously gonna be driven from the multiplayer and playing with friends and everything like that, but I figured
I actually think campaigns are really important. I really do. And the reason why I think campaigns
100%.
are really important is because those are the things that are going to engage a lot of the casual players.
I want the whole story. That's what I want.
And I think that casual players are what create kind of they create the bedrock for the community.
Or at least a part 2,
Good
part
value
3.
proposition. Yeah. Tell that to Blizzard. Yeah, well, you need to have the story. And, like, I think also a lot of people that are Dragon Ball Z fans, like, let's be honest, a lot of the people that are probably bat-chesting about this game are balding. Like, I'm just
100%.
being honest, right? I mean, yeah, there's kids that like Dragon Ball Z too, but like, there's a lot of adults that like it as well. And so they want to go back and relive that experience they had as a kid. And so that's why the campaign is so cool.
Single player campaign would be
Yeah.
a little bit of fun, and then we would
Sure.
move on. Boy, oh boy, does this single player have more to it than I realized.
There's a lot.
So you have 8 campaigns. People are going to start with Goku's campaign, and that's naturally going to be the longest of all of the campaigns available. On top of these what-if scenarios that are going down as well, which adds another layer to the story, boy, oh boy, are people getting absolutely mollywopped and obliterated by one particular fight right off the rip. Now, initially...
It is crazy because, like, whenever I saw this fight, usually the really hard boss comes, like, 3 hours into the game. This was, like, the 3rd boss. It was so fucking early on.
Fighting Raditz and then into Vegeta is not too difficult. And then you get into Vegeta's Great Ape form, and GG no re, boys. This fight seems to be pushing a lot of people to the edge. If you actually look through social media, people are bugging out about this Great Ape fight, and they're
losing their fucking minds. And the thing is that, like, Bandai Namco, I think that, yeah, they're the ones bullshit. They even said just turn down the difficulty. That wasn't enough for some people. I'm not thinking of anybody in particular, but that wasn't enough for some people, and sometimes they had to turn it down multiple times even.
But from the standpoint where myself and I think a lot of other people were expecting to absolutely dust this campaign, this is a good thing. I think this level of challenge is great. I mean, ultimately...
I also really like it. Here's why I like it. I like it because, like, it's challenging, and, like, there isn't, like, a super hard mode version. So it's like you either had to beat it at the base level or you had to turn down the difficulty. Like, in general, I don't like difficulty sliders. I think that for a game like this, I mean, again, it's all balding 30-year-old men playing games like this, right? Or at least there's a huge contingency of them. It's fine to give them an easy mode where you can just fucking beat the boss. It's super easy. You can go through the story. You're Goku. That's fine. It's whatever, right? But at the same time, because there's no hard mode, I really like that. Because the fights are actually balanced in a way that I think is fair and fun.
Who cares if it's challenging?
Yeah.
And it should be noted that if you're playing against the Great Ape and you fail a few times, they give you the option to lower the difficulty. So it's like, if you want to go
heard about that.
you can lower the difficulty. I don't think people actually want to lower the difficulty, and I think you should try to beat the Great Ape legit. And what I've heard is some of the other fights deeper into the game are just as difficult. And maybe the complaints are so bad that this battle is a little bit too difficult. The pin dynamic...
I really don't think it's that bad. I think that if you're gonna, like, in my opinion, I thought Frieza was harder. I thought Frieza was way harder. Now, like, as soon as I learned how to do it, I think I pretty much flawless for Frieza. Like, I think I got hit like one time. It wasn't a big deal, but they never got there. Yeah, and Cell Jr., that was the one that, bro, I died to him like 3 times. People can't do it, aren't charging up? Yeah. Go sparking to tick down. Yeah, you just stick them down with sparking mode. It's literally in the name. It's in the name of the game.
Is probably going to take action, and some of the AI elements are a little bit ridiculous, and the difficulty spikes. That's the issue. I think spiking the difficulty this hard is a little bit wild, but at the same time,
I personally thought Vegeta was a way harder power spike than the ape, because Vegeta was way more aggressive and way more dangerous. The ape just had a couple of unavoidable attacks, like the grab. Ran it? Yeah, I mean, no, well, you were supposed to lose that fight.
I do think, you know, it being challenging is a good thing, but
yeah,
there's
I think
a
so
balancing
too.
act to all of this, and pretty much everybody I've spoken to, they are reiterating the same thing over and over again when it comes to this Great Ape fight, where people are absolutely losing their mind.
You put on easy mode? I didn't put on easy mode. What do you mean? No, I didn't. I did not.
Over it. I'm curious to see, as far as the rest of the campaign, how difficult it is, and I'm sure if you're a hardcore player, you're gonna be able to get through it. I have some of the gameplay of the Great Ape fight here, and ultimately, I think if you're decent at the game, you're going to be able to beat it, but I think it's a case of a lot of people were just expecting to absolutely obliterate the game at the same time, and then they...
What was the game? See, this is the thing with fighting games that a lot of people don't understand. What was the fighting game that got, like, somebody to masters by just using a pattern AI that repeated the same moveset over and over? Was that Street Fighter 6? It could have been Tekken 8. Yeah, I don't remember which one. Yeah. So, it didn't get the master? Yeah, but it got really high up there. And maybe it didn't get that high. With Eddie, Tekken 8 with Eddie, exactly. And so... if you're having trouble with the game, there are always going to be techniques and strategies that you can use to offset, like, you know, being less skilled, basically.
Actually play the game, and yeah, they run into a brick wall.
That's always how it works.
The issue is the initial battles are fairly straightforward, that once you get to the Great Ape fight, that, yeah, people are losing their minds, and the game is way too hard. There's a Reddit post on the Sparky Zero page that's one of the top voted posts. Okay, this game is way too hard. Look, I wasn't expecting to come in and face the entire story, but I kind of was, to be honest. I kind of was, as somebody that's played Tenkaichi, and I think a lot of people were. They were just like, all right, I'm going to go to the single-player mode and absolutely obliterate it, but holy S, this is borderline impossible. Most of these story episodes episodes play like this. Opponent perceptions or Z
700
vanishes
updoots.
4,000 times in a row because an input reads, I get knocked back in one hit from the AI, who then uses a super and then hits me because I'm recovering. AI deals 18 quintillion damage with a standard punch. I tried to perception and they just follow up with their own perception. I try to Z vanish, but because the timing needs to be effing frame perfect, it doesn't work. I knock back the AI after my 5th attempt from a combo, since they usually Z vanish. One punch from me chips off so little health, I may as well be standing there with a straw shooting spitball. So honestly, it does feel like a lot of people are enraged with the difficulty. I don't know. In this case, I'm not... look, and you're talking to somebody that absolutely hates brutally difficult games. Like, they are not my cup of tea. I do not get into the Souls-like games or anything like that. But maybe it's an element of the challenge was so surprising to me that it didn't bother me as much as a lot of other people. But let me know what you guys think. I am curious to hear your guys' opinion.
I think that it was fine. I think the only problem is that, in my opinion, I think the game did kind of 0 to 60 you. And I think that they should have had maybe a couple of fights that were like sparring matches with like maybe Piccolo or Krillin. And then Vegeta comes down just to like get the player into understanding what like the movesets are. I think that would have been a good idea. Because, like, you do go from fighting Raditz immediately to fighting Vegeta. And, like, I definitely was there for a minute. I was like, bro, am I going to have to turn down the difficulty mode? There is training mode. Well, I know that there's training mode. But I think also, like, if you're designing a game, you should expect people to not do that. And I think that you have to give people at least a little bit of idea of, like, how to play the game. New trailer for New World of Turnum, really? Yeah, I might look at that later on. Campaign should teach it? Yeah, just at least a little bit, right?
Opinion and where the Great Ape fight in particular stacks up, since I know most people aren't getting deeper into the campaign, and I'm really curious how it's going to build up in terms of the battles going forward, because if this fight is really hard and then the other fights, the subsequent fights aren't as difficult, that obviously is going to be very questionable, because the Great Ape fight is obviously very on in the Z story. Like, what are we doing here?
I think that I think it really depends, because I saw people talking about this, and there were some people saying that they were stuck on this boss for a long time, and other people saying that they were stuck on Frieza for a long time. And, like, I think that's a good thing, because that's like how Elden Ring and Dark Souls is, where it's like, yeah, you're going to have people that are going to pretty much, like, cluster around the hardest bosses and think that they're the most challenging, but I think that when you have different people that are being challenged by different bosses, it means that you have, like, a different, like, because there's different types of people playing games, right? And so, like, if every boss is the same hard boss, then the game is kind of formulaic.
If that's an issue, and that's where people are having
they're very different skills. Yeah, exactly.
Goku's campaign isn't too difficult.
Like, for me, basically, like, my whole play style in this game is make distance, go into sparking mode, beat the shit out of them, finish the sparking mode with an ult, regen, do it again, do some melee attacks, maybe counter once or twice, and that's it, right? Like, that's what I did. So, like, for me, like, Cell Jr. was really hard because of how aggressive he is. And, like, I died on him a few times. So it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to have to play the game differently. And that's fine. My ape wouldn't let me make some distance. Yeah, but you can get behind the rocks. Compared to Canon, they made this fight too easy. I do think that it would be cool if they made hard mode versions of the fights. Like, later on that you unlock after you complete the campaign. I think that that would be cool.
Yeah, the Great Ape seems to be pushing people to the absolute edge. And I don't recall in previous Tenkaichi games, I'm sure that you had to fight the Great Ape in the campaign, but I don't recall it being something brutally difficult. But I played the Tenkaichi games when I was super, super young, so my
I think that back then, like, the focus was mainly on just making a fighting game. And I think that nowadays there's a lot more, like, conscious thought that goes into, like, how games are being designed. And I think that this game prioritized primarily like a character fantasy and like game, like it's not realism, right? But like the game feel, it prioritized that over balance and over like making everything, you know, like razor close. Unique experience. Yeah, exactly. Feels like you're in DBZ.
As far as difficulty scales, and even back then, if something was super difficult, like we were gonna no life a game till we actually beat a boss or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Battle in the single player mode.
Yeah,
but back
here's a really good example. Is like, you remember in Smash Brothers in Melee, where you had to fight, who was it, like Mewtwo, Ganondorf, and Giga Godzilla all at the same time on Final Destination?
That was a crazy fight. Yeah, I remember that one. Oh man,
you guys remember that fight? Like, I'm gonna be honest,
Giga
like
Bowser.
this was nothing compared to that.
Giga Bowser.
Like, yeah, Event Match 1. I remember. I think that I had to. I'm pretty sure I had to resort to just using Jigglypuff because I could not do it as Roy. I couldn't do it as Link or like Samus. I remember I used Jigglypuff or something. Was it Kirby? Yeah, something like that.
Kirby.
Then, like, even with all of these anime games,
Falco was pretty
Fight
good.
100 bots.
Dragon Ball games that had the great ace fight, if it was too difficult, we'd just be no-lifing it until the end of the earth. I think at this point, some of us are a little bit older that getting obliterated by the same boss over and over again and it coming across a little bit unfair to say the least. All right, that might...
I don't think it's unfair. I really don't. I actually think that the only problem is that I think that they should have had a couple more training exercises to where the player understands how to play the game. Because I think that this is just the truth. I know people are going to disagree with this and say, I don't do that. I think this is the truth, though. Most people don't do the training mode. And I think you would have had less people bounce off of the game and get frustrated if you had a handful of fights that were leading up to, like, Raditz coming down. Or, like, in between, it would actually have made more sense in between Raditz and Vegeta, because, like, you know, the 1 year. And so, like, if you had a few more fights in between those two, you would have had people that have taken more time to, like, learn the mechanics and understand what's going on. And so I think you don't play Dragon Ball games? I know that. Doesn't that make my opinion important? Because, like, you'd want to have the game grow an audience and get more people involved? It's a pacing issue. Yeah, I think it's a pacing issue. Yeah, that's my point.
Set us off a little bit, but I am really curious to hear your guys' overall thoughts on the game. I've been pretty vocal. Look, I have issues with some of the stuttering on PC, and there's some other things that I'm going to talk about in future videos. I think some of the DLC they're putting out already, I mean, the Ultimate Edition was $110, and we already got more DLC content that wasn't clarified ahead of the game's release, but the other anime-published titles from Bandai Namco have done the same thing, so, you know, I still gotta complain about it because it's a reality. I wish they had cross-platform play, but the game from its essence and what it offers, if you are a lifelong Tenkaichi player and you played it as a kid... I wonder
why they don't have cross-platform play. Maybe it's a netcode issue? I don't know.
I mean, this is an absolute love letter to you. You gotta be having a great time with it. Difficulty aside, and that's something Bandai Namco might end up patching. They do offer to make it easier, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, but let me know what you guys think as far as the difficulty of the Grade 8 fight in particular. I know some of you guys are already deeper on, but let me know how the fights stack up as far as deeper into the campaign as well. And for those of you that are still on the fence about actually buying the game, and I will say that in my humble opinion that the game is absolutely awesome, and it's what Dragon Ball fans have been waiting for a long time. We've wanted a new Tenkaichi for a long time. You know, minor issues aside, like I said, the stuttering and PlayStation 5's overheating, which may be an issue with your fans, and you might need to open up your PS5 and clean it out. I'm just letting you guys know. A lot of people clarifying that, so keep that in mind.
I should probably go check what that game is that I played back in the day. I don't even remember.
Cap off this video over at greenmangaming.com. They have got the game a little bit cheaper. 8% off, and you won't pay tax either. This is for a PC copy of the game, the deluxe edition, with the season pass and the early access, which is playable right now. And if you do want to pick up the standard edition, if you're looking to delve into it,
that's high, bro. That's expensive, bro.
8% off as well for $64.39.
8%.
That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
It's your best, Kakarot!
Okay. Here I come. Oh, too high. Oh no, that's too high. I'm just figuring out the controls. Then I'll come kill you.
Then
Okay.
hurry up and get serious. Come at me with everything you've got.
Okay, here I go.
Not bad.
This kind of reminds me of the Forspoken MMO. Okay, what's the girl talk on this guy?
This is Goku when he was young.
I thought that was Piccolo when he was old. Now this is Goku mid. Goku early, Goku mid. What's the difference?
Well, Super Saiyan
They
3.
look exactly the same.
Isn't he pretty much always like that, though?
Yeah.
Now this is Goku when he was mid.
Hell yeah.
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyans drive me nuts!
How many Gokus is there?
There's a lot of Gokus.
Super Saiyan. Oh my god. When he went Super Saiyan, what's the girl talking? Super Saiyan.
Even in his 40s, Goku's attitude hasn't changed much.
When he went red hair,
Oh,
he
shit.
changed up his whole look.
Now his hair is red.
Goku Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Great. Now he's got blue hair for some
To be
reason.
fair, the blue hair was real
invented
cool.
the device that allowed him to instantly change into his outfit wherever
Uh-huh.
he wanted.
No, you didn't. That was future Vegito Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan that did that in
What the
episode
fuck?
3000. Gogeta Super Saiyan God Sniper
Jesus.
Saiyan level 4. Yeah, I would love to see you beat that. What the fuck is this?
You know what's so fucking funny about this is that it's funny, but it's also awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
way
also
so-
fucking cool. Yeah.
I can see his tail from here.
Yeah.
You can't see his tail. It got clipped off in episode 300 by Mr. Mia Man.
Think you can keep up with my flying Nimbus?
Didn't you hear his girl talk, Goku, you dumbass?
Power level 1,307. 1,307. The other two Saiyans. When will they arrive here? 1 year. Just 1 short year.
The show will be canceled by then, you freaking dumbass. Oh, they're here already. I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff. Am I missing a lot?
Yeah.
Or am I missing nothing?
Wait a second.
We got all you. What
Man.
is happening on this show? Is this what happens in the show, or did they make this up?
I
is-
feel like that's what happens.
Psychotic.
I think.
How's it feel? Seeing your little friend's corpses scattered all over.
Oh.
Doesn't feel bad at all, because I didn't even see it happen.
Piccolo's
Yep.
gone.
He was just alive.
How could anyone gain that much power in such a short amount of time?
Because it's skipping all the whole storyline, man.
This spot should do. From what I can tell, there's no people or animals
Oh,
nearby.
he's coming up. He's coming up to the 8.
love the animals.
What happened to the fighting from the good Dragon Ball game?
I've had enough embarrassment for one battle. There's no way in hell that you can stop my Gallic gun.
Your Gallic gun is nothing versus my Thanos gun.
I've come up with a fun new game.
Wait, what?
Tekken? I figured out how to wave my guy's arm.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is not the combat you want to see after just playing Tekken. This is like playing War Gods after you just rolled credits on Soul Calibur 2.
All 7 dragon.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think this game prioritizes fun more than anything. You know, it's not even about being balanced or making sense. It's just about being really fun.
Also needed in order to make a wish.
Yeah.
If I found all 7 Dragon Balls, my wish would be that they had the fighting of this game with the storyline of Dragon Ball,
The Cell
but
game.
not skipping the whole storyline like this game.
So I think that like what Dunkey is saying is probably the way a lot of people felt at the beginning, including me, because I didn't realize that they do tell the story, but they tell it through different campaigns that are interwoven, but they're persisting individually. And so like it's fragmented. Yeah, it's fragmented because I thought the exact same thing.
That makes
I
sense.
wish that the game did a better job making people aware of that right at the beginning.
Step by this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
It's not clear at all. Yeah.
Okay. Now they're bringing me
shit.
back in.
What?
with
I didn't do
guy.
this
He
one.
locates Dodoria. Oh, Dodoria, you can't beat that guy. Wait, what? You already beat him off screen?
What?
I wanted to battle Dodoria.
That's
why
right,
we
get him
skipping
outta
the
here.
Dodoria chapter. No,
Kick him in the
best
dick.
Parts.
Frieza's as good as dead. This joke of an empire is finished.
Dang. I like Vegeta
Oh,
more than
shit.
Goku. He's badass. Oh, he went.
I love how Vegeta, like, he just, like, randomly kills, like, hundreds of innocent people, and people are like, yeah, Giga Chad, Vegeta. Oh, bro, he's so cool.
Bro.
Funky mode.
So funny.
Hey, you want this?
Had about becoming hulking monkeys.
Oh my god.
Aware of my transformation.
Fucking based, yeah. Kicked him right in the
Oh, he
dick.
died while he was talking to me. They're pulling me in with the storyline.
Yeah.
Vegeta is unable to defeat the transformed
Wait, you want this?
Zarbon. No, I beat him right away. Vegeta is soon found by Zarbon. You know, I was just found by Zarbon. He intends to summon Porunga, but then Captain Ginyu switched bodies with Goku.
Captain Ginyu.
When did that happen? But then Guru
See,
dies. Porunga disappears.
I
and
wish that they had an option. I feel like what would be really cool is if they had an option that interweaves all of the campaigns where you play as all of the different characters. I think it would have been really cool if they had an option like that. Like the chronological story. And I feel like it would be easy for them to do that, right? They did in the old games. That's the thing. That was Budokai 3. Exactly. But like you can see how it's like it's an expectation situation where like people are confused. It's like, because I felt the exact same way. It's just confusing.
I gotta play
For a
this.
new person.
I gotta try it.
Dragon Ball's turned into
When the price
stone.
go down, I'll try it.
What?
Frieza.
Now Frieza, who's been traveling toward Porunga's column of light, makes an appearance. Who the fuck is Porunga?
In all my years, I've never been so angry as I am now.
I'm really happy, on the other hand. I'm becoming a thing you fear most. The legendary Super Saiyan.
That's
Oh,
right.
Vegeta, you can never become Super Saiyan. Come on now. This would be like more exciting if we actually saw this stuff happening. It's like they don't get hit when they get hit. Reminds me of Shenmue 3.
You gotta go super mode.
Vegeta! No! I don't want to play.
Beat his ass, Goku. Beat his dick off.
Oh.
Why are you doing that? It's just a little kid you're fighting. I've mastered the combat of this game. You hold right trigger, right? Hold charge this up for a while. Then you hit B.
Nice.
It's possible.
Just hit the B button.
Why are we fighting? There's no point.
This did go so fucking hard when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2 against Perfect Cell. Oh my god.
That was dope. Oh man, I gotta see it. I gotta watch it.
Absolute
Oh, the
fucking
game.
cinema.
Oh shit.
Yep, it was crazy. Only cool
gotta see
Gohan
it.
moment. It was. Man. And then I feel like obviously Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time is like that's peak. And then Goku going Super Saiyan 3 for the first time with like that, because like Super Saiyan 2 is basically like Super Saiyan 1 but with a little bit more hair. Whereas like Super Saiyan 3 was like totally fucking different. It was so fucking badass, man. This just like it was, oh my god, it was good.
That's actually
Man.
a really good point.
That's
So-
W.
I'm actually surprised. What's funny is that Dunkey, this is how you know he's like an actual video gamer, is that he didn't even bring up the Great Ape. It wasn't even part of the video. It was like, yeah, oh, people had trouble with that? Oh, okay. Yeah,